As you guys know, one of the animes that dropped this season is a little gem called Hat Atelier. If you ask me my very humble opinion, this to me was the very best anime this season. It was made beautifully, the story is really compelling, the world building is super solid, and for the most part, it has really, really cute aesthetics. Now, watching this shit made me feel like I was watching a Blood Diamond, because it's so well animated and so well made, you just know some animators got exploited to filth for it. But I do think that watching this anime is well worth it just for the story alone. It's magic in a way that I haven't seen before, but that also makes a lot of sense. If you guys want like a brief little synopsis for it, the anime is about a girl called Coco who is a huge fan of magic. And there are witches in the world of Hat Atelier, and no one knows how it works. People assume that witches are born, not made, so no one really knows how magic exists. Coco happens to, by some form of accident, curses her mother. And so, instead of having her memory erased so she can never fucking do magic again, because that's the norm in Witch Hat, she gets taken in as a student by another character called Qifrey, and it's basically like her journey of becoming a witch. It's actually so sweet, so well made, the music is beautiful, the animation is phenomenal, and everything is really, really compelling. But what I want to talk about today, because you guys know me, is the character designs for Hat Atelier, because there is a very colorful cast of characters in the show, and all of them have a beautiful aesthetic that, while quite cohesive, still has every character given their own flair. So we're using the website today for this, because the Witch Hat website is actually fucking goated. There's like, I think, 19 characters here that are of note, according to Witch Hat. And we will begin with our baby girl Coco, I think. Coco is our main character, baby girl. Now, this is the version of Coco that's actually wearing her witch uniform. She has a couple of different outfits in the series, but this is the one that you're gonna see her wearing the most. Every witch apprentice has this uniform, but they all like to give themselves little bits of flair. Now, Coco, the thing I like about her is that she has a very soft silhouette in general. She's very warm-toned, although I see people argue about her hair being green or blonde. I think it's almost like tennis ball yellow, just not as saturated, and she has like soft golden eyes. She has like a very round vibe in general, even when she's not in her witch uniform. She has like a bob haircut, she has like really soft legs, really cute little baby shoes, leggings. It's like a super cute fantasy vibe while still having some modern flair to it. It's something that you'll notice about Witch Hat. There's some characters that dress more modern-ish than others, but the fantasy vibe is almost always there. And for the Atelier uniform, they have a very simple white shift that has like some etching, some white etching on the collar. You can't really see it here. And then on top of that, they have this like teal cloak type of vibe, which has these like really cute dangling tassels. The color balancing in it is beautiful because it has some really nice contrast between like the teal and some black, and then it really pops with the white of the dress. And in Coco's case, she has her little yellow shoes, which match her hair. It actually ties the color scheme together quite nicely. And the most important part of this outfit, and I will argue any outfit in Witch Hat, is the hat. Witches in Witch Hat Atelier always wear the pointy cap, and it's normally a pointy cap and that's it. It's like a dunce cap, but like smarter. Does that make sense? And for Qifrey's Atelier, that's the one that she joined, it's a teal hat with a little yellow poof and a white trim. She's a summer child. She's the cutest fucking thing on the planet. Very open facial expression. Not a ton of details like eyelashes or anything like that, because Coco, believe it or not, Coco's fairly young. Coco seems to be like 12 years old. This is a pro tag, which is not that old, which for anime, it's not uncommon, but it's not as often seen because most people prefer to go with characters that are a bit older for shows like this. But for Coco, I do think it's perfect. Coco is a person that's like very accepting of things, and you can see it in her face. She's very open-minded, she's very friendly. The eyes are round, the lips are round. She has like really big ears, which are also really, really rounded. And even like the top of her hat doesn't seem outright pointy. It has a little bit of a roundness to it. It's super cute. As for accents on the outfit, I really, really like the little hanging ribbon tassels that the cloak has. It's not really a cloak, it does button somehow. So it's not exactly a cape, it's not a cloak either. They do show how it works in the show, but I do think it's a very cute uniform as far as things go, because with stuff like this, you're expecting like floor-length robes, or like your typical quintessential anime uniform, and a cape, because they do that in like Wisteria, Wand and Sword, but for Witch Hat, I like that they kept it a bit more fantasy-coded. Less school and more everyday study, because technically speaking, they're not like tied to like one specific school or anything, and I find that very sweet. Another thing I like, and this is about world building in general for Witch Hat, keep in mind I've only really seen the anime, so please don't spoil the manga for me, is that everybody can do magic in the same way. It completely depends on practice and your own artistic skill, which I think is pretty neat as an artist myself. And I do like that there is a certain artistic vibe to the designs, but it's not like overtly like your stereotypical artist fit, which is like, you know, beret and shit like that. It's more fantasy. Another thing to note is that you will never see the witches in the show having a hat with a brim, because that ties you to Bad Witch. But Coco is only just learning, so she has like the student fit. All right, now let's talk about gamer subs! A ridiculous amount of flavors, 100 servings per fucking tub, good, clean energy. No crash out, no headache, no feeling like garbage the next day because you fucking chugged too many. Not to mention, this shit is 40 cents per serving, guys. It's literally the most affordable energy drink on the market. You can also try out AFK if you have trouble eating, or just do the caffeine-free version. It's great flavor, an amazing way to kick soda, and altogether, very enjoyable. If you don't want to try any of the stuff out, though, make sure you use code Kinkimation at checkout for 10% off your entire order, or go to gamersubs.gg/Kinkimation. Using my code helps the channel, and it makes it so that someday I will have a waifu cup of my own, so I very much appreciate that you guys use my code whenever you can. All right, ad break over. All right, now let's talk about Qifrey. You could call him the main lead of the show. He is Coco's teacher and one of the first witches that you will encounter in this show. That's really funny that, like, his eyes look gold in this image. I think they're blue. Now, Qifrey, unlike Coco and unlike his students, has a lot more of a grander vibe to him. A very, very cool, very imposing silhouette. His outfit is a little bit more traditional fantasy. He has some very nice long billowing robes that he wears on top of like a black, really tight shirt, and then he has like a gray cloak on top of it. Every witch that's like an adult gets a specific hat that they get to design themselves. Qifrey's has a pointed cap with the same pattern as his students, but his is gray, and he has a really, really, really long tassel on it as well. And again, Qifrey's not wearing a brimmed cap because that is bad guy thing. He's not a character that has a lot of color in his design, which is actually something that I kind of like because it makes the colorful parts of his fit really pop, which is the gold and the fact that his eyes are like a bright fucking blue. It's a very warm-toned gray as well, so it's pretty nice. There's nothing really cold about the character except his actual hair color. That one has a blue undertone. And the thing that makes him just so pretty, just his face. His face is so gorgeous. This dude is way too pretty for his own good. I love the black brows. I love the kind of like spiky hair. He has hat hair because like what witch would not have hat hair? And for the most part, he just looks really sweet, kind of approachable. He has his sides, which as every character does, but for the most part, Qifrey's very approachable, and you'll notice that in his silhouette that he is very easy to follow. There's a lot of really good flow to this design, a lot of circles. In fact, the main bulk of repetition for Qifrey's fit is in his buttons. So in general, it's a really good design because it has a really nice sense of flow to it, but it also shows that Qifrey as a character is rather guarded, because he's almost always wearing the cloak. He only really takes this off if he's at home with his students, and it does seem to almost be embracing him in a way and makes him not be very open. I like that one of his spectacles is like blacked out. It gives him a nice little bit of mystery. You never see his other eye, at least at the point that I've watched, you've never seen the other eye. There's a good reason for that, I'm sure, a story one. But for the most part, it just kind of keeps you guessing on his character. He's also stupid tall. There's a lot of length to this character. The hat doesn't help. I think it's a really cute take on witches in media, because most of the time when you think of witch, you think of the witch with the brimmed hat, the black cloak, or the Halloween witch. You don't often think of something like this, which is very much medieval coded, still very magical, but does not have the same vibe of mystery that your traditional run-of-the-mill witch has as well. He does have a little bit of jewelry here and there. He has like a half-sun pin keeping his cloak together with a little tassel that actually matches the tassels on his students' hats. But other than that and his spectacles, he doesn't wear a ton of accessories. So he's a very simple character design. You'll notice this very quickly with Hat Atelier that the designs are actually super simple. And I think that's part of the reason why they animate so well. They're easy to break down. Like, it's just very simple shapes. I've seen some people call him Witch Gojo, but like, I will say this in the nicest way possible. Gojo doesn't own blue eyes and white hair. Their personalities could not be more different. Qifrey's not nearly as cocky. He's very much dad-coded. I feel like he just genuinely wants to, like, teach and that's it. Yeah, I think that Witch Hat is actually a bit older than Jujutsu Kaisen, isn't it? If you guys want to see the actual body type of this absolute twink of a man, yeah. He's actually fairly twinky. He just has a lot of cloak. Absolute man slut. It's a very tight shirt, okay? Is he a wood for you? Abso-fucking-lutely. I've seen the Fujoshis trying to claim him, though, with Ollie. But for me, though, he's just such a dad. He's so cute. He's so pretty. That's not muscle. That's vacuum sealed. Yeah! But it shows off his frame really nicely and the fact that, like, he is a scrawny dipshit. This is not an athlete, this is an artist, alright? He only has muscles in his arms. But that's what I think makes him so appealing to us girly pops, is the fact that, like, it's a very pretty man with a nice lean musculature and very fatherly. We love a capable man. So Qifrey's actually, I think, an incredibly cute character, and I'm excited to learn more about him as the show goes on. We're gonna be moving through the students of the Atelier, which are actually supporting characters now. So we start with Agott. Now, if you are thinking of yourself, wow, this character looks unlikable, you would be right. Agott is, difficult at best, let's leave it at that. And you'll notice very quickly that besides the shoes, the students of Qifrey's Atelier don't really wear their uniforms super differently. Agott, though, you can tell a lot more about her character from her actual facial expression and from the work that's done with, like, her hair and demeanor more than the uniform's design. I don't know if you guys can tell, but Agott has a very closed-off face. She's very cold. Not only does she have a fairly cold color scheme in general, being mostly purple, she also has a very closed stance. Her body language is not nearly as open as Coco. She is a very wary person, and you can tell from just how she stands. Her legs are very close together. She has a hand on her hip. The other one's probably, like, limp at her side. She's staring straight at you, but she's not emoting at all. A very, very serious character. Her hair is very messy. It does give her some sense of chaos. It's not as, like, friend-shaped of a silhouette as Coco. There is some triangle shapes in there, so there's a little bit more of intensity. But the main thing I would have to say about Agott, at a glance, if I was doing this review blind, I would say that she seems like a really, really cold person. And she kind of is. Yeah, she stares people down. She has, like, purple eyes and purple hair. The eye colors tend to match, by the way, the hair colors in Witch Hat, which I think is really cute. But the character designer, the author, actually planned these color schemes out really well because all of them look very nice with teal. But you'll notice very quickly that, much like Coco, her hair color matches her shoes. If I was going to equate Agott to any type of artist, because every fucking girly pop in this show is a type of artist, and I can tell you that for a fact, being an artist myself, Agott would kind of be clout obsessed. Agott cares about numbers, she cares about the recognition, she cares about making a name for herself. She sees Coco as an outsider that has no effort, but somehow got recognized by Qifrey. She desperately wants to prove herself and get out there and, like, do that and do her thing. But she's not quite there yet, because a lot of the times when you're desperately looking for something as an artist, you will find it more through experience than by trying desperately to attain a goal that you're not ready for yet. We continue with the pink thing! Now, Tetia, I think she might be my favorite out of all the girly pops besides Coco. She is an absolute joy and gem of a character, and it shows immediately in her character design and body language. Now, Tetia is one of the few that actually accessorizes her little Atelier uniform a bit more. She has a little, like, triangular petticoat underneath the normal shift. She wears, like, tall boots over her leggings. She has her cute little twin tails, very fluffy pink hair, pink eyes as well. She's so precious! If you watch the show, you will know why I like this girl immediately. And I think that Tetia is, from what I've seen of the show, the type of artist that enjoys drawings for others, not for herself. She likes to make things for other people because she wants to make other people enjoy her work, if that makes sense. Now, this in itself does not sound like a bad thing, but it can also be an attitude as an artist that can be harmful because finding joy in your own work for yourself is just as important as drawing for other people. As for the design itself, again, beautiful color combinations because that pink does not at all look weird with the teal. I like that we gave her some more warmth to the design as well. She has brown boots that are actually very warm-toned. That actually makes the leggings look way more warm-toned. Her body language is also open like Coco's, but it's really high energy. There is something in Coco's character that seems a little bit more insecure. Tetia has a lot more confidence, she's a little bit more open about it. She also has a little bit more to her face that makes her a little bit more energetic, a little bit more feminine. She has, like, visible eyelashes, her brows are a little bit thinner. She likes to put her hair up in, like, cute twin tails. It's, like, curly, very pink, very cutesy. And that's how I would probably describe Tetia, as just very cute. I want that spell that she used. Oh yeah, if you know the one, you know the one. She is a bit of a people pleaser, yeah. And you can tell from, like, how she stands around that, like, she wants to make a good impression, and that's, like, the most important thing to her. She wants 2 points on her hats. That's allowed, I think, by the way. You can have a hat with 2 points. You just can't have a brim. And then finally, of the students, we have Richeh. This is one that I kind of struggle to pronounce. You will notice she probably has the most closed-off silhouette out of all of them. Her uniform is significantly longer than the other 3 students. It actually goes below the knee. She has a very skinny limbs, so she has like a very, very slender frame. She's wearing still the leggings and she has her little boots, but her boots are like kind of baggy. They almost look like slippers. And most notably about her is her facial expression. It's kind of deadpan. Super cute, mind you. I find this design absolutely adorable. If Tetia was not my favorite because I have a pink thing bias, it would be her. Ultra short bangs and super long ribbony-like hair. The same uniform as everyone else, but again, her own spin on it is the length more than anything else. And the fact that she seems to almost blend into her. Now, I don't want you guys to make the mistake to think that this is a shy character. Far from it. She's not shy at all. She is just very much doing her own thing, and that's the only thing that she wants to do. The thing I like about her is that, unlike the other girls, which have some warmth to their color scheme, Richeh is completely cold. There is like no warmth in her color scheme at all except for the shift that she's wearing underneath the teal cape. It's like an icy baby blue, same with the eyes, and you can tell the difference in kind of like the personality. I would say that like she's like the deadpan funny one because her eyes are kind of like half lidded. She has like really thin brows, a very, very delicate face, and a very delicate body to go with it. So she's like very like little, she's very short. The length of the outfit makes her look much shorter. And she also probably has the most cohesive sense of flow out of all of them because her hair is so long that it flows right into the cape. They are the artists that only do what they want. Only draws their OCs and nothing else. Refuses to touch fan art, refuses to touch any other type of franchise. Not open to feedback in the slightest, is not a fan of criticism at all, and struggles because of this. She looks icy. She actually has a very cutesy personality though. Barely speaks, she only talks when she's comfortable. Like, she is Kudera coded, yes, I would call her this. And again, all of these traits kind of show in their designs how closed off they are to different things. Agott has a very, like, stern posture, but she's not as closed off as Richeh is. Richeh is, like, very much shrimping, hunched in on herself. Leave me the fuck alone energy. Alright, and that's all the students. Let's talk about some other characters. Olruggio, dad number 2, father number 2, okay? Like, this is why the Fujoshis have claimed Qifrey, by the way. So, Qifrey doesn't live alone in his atelier. He lives with this character, whom I think is fucking phenomenal. Now, if you are thinking, wow, this actually looks like a stereotypical wizard, you would be correct. Ollie definitely fits the fucking stereotypical wizard vibe more, not just in silhouette, but in color scheme as well, because he has, like, the really big cape, the midnight blues and the golds that are very wizard-coded. He has, like, the shirt with, like, the pants skirt-like tunic, and for some reason, stirrup stockings. Dad, what the fuck? He also has, like, facial hair, unlike Qifrey, who looks very much like Twink that will never grow a hair in his life. Ollie, much like Qifrey, has a really nice bit of repetition on his outfit. He has a lot of tassels, he has a little bit of triangles and diamonds here and there in the lining of the coat and in his cap. He also has like cute little buttons, circles on his belt. And the thing I like about Ollie is that his color balancing is actually super beautiful. Because he has like a perfect blend of light and dark, with the white shirt really nicely breaking the blue in the lining of his cape. And making it so, like, it doesn't quite get lost in the sauce. Also, the shoes are so interesting to me because what the fuck are you wearing stirrup stockings for, Dad? Like, and then, like Qifrey, he doesn't have a very long decoration on his hat. You can tell he's from a different atelier because he has a different pattern on his cap than most others. And their hat is kind of like their status symbol. I think he's called a watcher. He's keeping an eye on the atelier. All of them need to have one because you need to see what they're teaching their students. And you might not be able to tell, but he's kind of like an inventor. He does not look very much like an eccentric inventor, but he does look like an eccentric in general, is I think what I would say about him. I really like that if you put him next to Qifrey, he looks more secretive than Qifrey is, but Qifrey is more closed off than he is. Because his posture is actually way more open. Qifrey's half hiding in his cloak. Ollie is not. Ollie is just chilling, but I want more of him. All right, now, Alaira, whom I love. Alaira is one of Qifrey's friends. She is actually a proctor in some of the tests that the witches have to do, and I think she has the most vibrancy in her color scheme out of everyone in the show. Alaira has a lot of warm tones in her outfit, in her hair, and the entire vibe, and is someone who's a little bit more of a wild child, a bit more eccentric, more playful. And you can tell that she's really playful with the silhouette of her outfit in general. Her hat has a cute little feather in it, her cape has like a bright orange lining, her shirt has these like 2 little tassels on the front, and unlike most witches, unlike the men, she wears pants. She also has a beautiful skin tone, which makes her outfit being mostly whites look very, very nice. A lot of gold detailing on most of the characters in Atelier so far, which I think fits really well. If you know anything about alchemy, you'll know that gold was like the end product for like the Philosopher's Stone and all that jazz, but they wear it as an accent color a lot, and Alaira has a pretty warm color scheme, except for her shoes and the end of her feather on her cap. And it actually looks really, really good because it makes that orange really pop. All in all, I would say that she probably has the most playful silhouette out of the bunch so far, and the most openness. Euini, I love you. If anybody vague posts in chat, I will snipe you on the spot. Now, you can see here how every witch and every apprentice kind of has their own vibe. The Atelier had a lot of really straight lines and big buttons, tassels. Euini has a more traditional witch's uniform. He has a long gray tunic, he has some ruffles on his sleeves, and he actually has a capelet. I much enjoy these types of capes over the ones that look like shawls any day because you can actually have some sleeve movement while still keeping your shoulders covered. And the thing I like is the use of color. I like the emerald green on the lining and on the cap, and I also like that he keeps a red sash around his waist. It makes it really look vibrant. His hat is different. It has like a black trim on the bottom, and he has like a ring as opposed to a tassel on it. And he has like a little sun. Much like the girly pops, he does have leggings and just a little simple pair of slipper shoes underneath the tunic. You will also notice that he has like no visible eyes. This is a very shy character, and you can tell that he's shy just from a glance, really. He just does not make eye contact. He doesn't want to interact with people. His posture is also really closed, almost kind of shrimpy. It's kind of like he wants to ball in on himself and that's it. He's a very, very sweet character, and that's about all I'm going to say for him because I want you guys to watch the show if you haven't already. Now, Tartah is not a witch per se. He's the grandson of someone who makes the magical ink that they used to draw in the show. As such, he doesn't have a very stern silhouette. I feel like his outfit is probably very, very casual. He has a very, very beautiful color scheme, nice olive green, beautiful ginger hair, and most notably, silver eyes. The silver eyes are important to the show. I'm not going to explain why. Basically, to become a witch, you need to be able to draw well. But it's not just that. You need to know how to draw well, how to draw by muscle memory, and you also need to make sure that you can use dyes, because different dyes will give the ink that you're using different effects. Tartah was born with a condition called silver wash eyes. What it basically means is that he's colorblind. And since he's colorblind, no teacher would take him as an apprentice. He can see contrast, but he can't see color, unfortunately. The cute thing about him, though, is, again, how casual his outfit is. It's almost giving Peter Pan with, like, the really pointy hem of the vest that he's wearing. He's wearing, like, very loose trousers with some triangles in them as well. Just some normal little baby fantasy shoes. And a white blouse with like a little belt on it, right? It's a super simple design. It gets the point across. And the hat that he's wearing is from his grandpa's shop. All right, now we're talking about Tartah's grandfather, Nolnoa. Unlike Qifrey and Ollie, who have like long flowing robes and eleganto artist vibes, he has like a workshop vibe, big apron and like trousers and like stripy grandpa socks. He has a really, really nice color balancing in general. He can use magic. He specializes in making magic ink and magic items, hence the actual workshop vibe that he has. Something with character design is that even though you have a magic system and a world that has like a cohesive aesthetic, you can still use it and give characters their own specialties. So Nol has like the craftsmanship a specialty, but he still has a witch hat, he still has a cloak, it's just shorter, it's more jagged, it's pointier, and he doesn't wear robes. He's wearing almost like a jumpsuit type of vibe and his workshop vest. And bonus points for the grandpa socks because they're fucking hilarious. I'm going to mention the guard very briefly, but I will go into detail with this one because this is like the main guy. This is the police. This is the witch popo, okay? And the uniform is fire! Now, their hats don't have a brim, but they do have a really cool winged accessory on the sides and silver thing on the front. That's kind of like their badge, right? The thing you will notice about this one is just the phenomenal use of color and repetition with the straight lines all over the top of the fit. And then it just has a great sense of flow. It goes from like that split cape in the back to like a black tunic with red lining. And they seem to be wearing metal-tipped boots underneath. Now, Easthies is a very cold character, I would argue. You don't see him a lot. He shows up very briefly in the show, but he definitely makes a strong first impression. In fact, he's a butt, but the uniform deserves it. I'm sorry. Fit is immaculate. Like, look at it. The color, the playfulness of the lines, the silhouette. Ugh. The long hair, like the wings, the staff with like the ring at the end, and they can use those to restrain people, fun fact. Ugh. The perfectly balanced combination of gold and silver throughout the design too. It's just a really, really strong outfit, I think. And when you're doing something like law enforcement, you need something really strong. I like that they went vibrant with it. I like that there's still darkness in it, because the coat is pretty dark, but then the cape over it is just bright as shit. He has an hourglass Dorito vibe. That cape makes his shoulders look gigantic. This is the artist that only does shit by the book, okay? This is the person that, like, if he's not seeing the Michelangelo level craft or perfectly fucking crafted painting with perfect technique, he thinks it's not art. He's art police, exactly. The rest of his crew has a similar uniform. However, I think that Easthies is the only one that has the really long flowing robes. Utowin has more of a suit vibe. Those are really tight pants, holy shit, vacuum sealed. So they're not boots, they're pants. And Utowin is a little bit more casual in the way that he wears his uniform because his buttons are open, he doesn't have a long tunic. He has like stubble, his hair's a bit disheveled, but you'll notice that the cap is the same. And the cape is the same, it's just the thing on the bottom that they're wearing that is different. Galga, I didn't even know you had a name. I didn't even know that half of like his dudes had a name, but they do. Galga has a longer version of the coat, but not as long as Easthies. Again, it is tights, it's not boots. And he has like the top button undone, so he's not as stern as his boss. I think he was one of the ones that was like, dude, these are children. We interacted with this woman about 2 seconds in the show, but I'm obsessed with her fit. I'm obsessed with her face, and I love how she fucking wears it. Look at her! She's tiny! Her fucking tunic is huge! She actually rocks those fucking steel-toed tights, and it's open up almost to the coochie. It's such a fucking elegant, alluring uniform. You can barely see Tartah, but it's still sexy somehow, covered from head to fucking toe. It's so gorgeous! You can't see it, you can actually see it in the show. She has like a braided bun on the back, very saber-coated. Beautiful blue eyes, absolutely gorgeous blonde hair. And the thing I like is how elegant her silhouette is. There's definitely a more feminine spin to this uniform with her, because the tunic looks more like a skirt. With Easthies, it looks more like a coat. And because the waist is so snatched and her arms look so delicate, you can definitely tell that this is a girly pop, yes. All right, I don't know why you're in here because you're like in Globshido hours. Dagda is actually human. He's not a witch at all. He is a traveling merchant. His cart fell into a river. He looks like a merchant. He looks like a normal human man. You'll notice immediately that you can tell if someone isn't a witch in the show if the hat is missing. No hat means no powers, no knowledge of magic whatsoever. So he's wearing a very simple fit. It's just like a traveling tunic in dark blue with some gold accents, well, almost like greenish gold, and diamond patterns all over it, and a traveling cloak. And he also has like trousers and boots. A very like common fantasy getup, I would say. He looks kind of tired, but he's fine. Like not very clean shaven, probably has been traveling for a few days, just low pony. A simple design, but like as far as NPCs in Witch Hat go, I think that he is fairly memorable to me, so that's probably why he's in here. Then we have Custas, Idiot Child. But Idiot Child with great design. Again, not a witch. If you don't see a pointed hat, they are not magical. They don't know about magic for the most part. He has little kind of bone-colored tunic with some puffy sleeves, and he's wearing like I think it's a bodysuit underneath. Like a very like dark brown bodysuit with some bandages here and there. It's a very simple traveling clothing, very simple fantasy designs as well. When you're working with fantasy-style NPCs, you don't need to give them a ton of detail, but make sure you at least capture a silhouette that doesn't look too modern. The thing I like about Witch Hat is that they have clothes that seem to be like a very pretty mix of both, but they definitely lean towards fantasy, just not as embellished as other franchises would do. Like, for example, if this was Fire Emblem, there would be a lot more embroidery, a lot more little baby details here and there, but this is like a normal townsperson, so it doesn't have that level of detail, and I think it actually suits it quite well. The Rock Lee fit a little bit. Now, we are entering the Brimmed Cap faction. Is this what you look like? Usually you don't see Iguin outside of their robe. Now, you might be thinking, how is this a brimmed hat? It has a brim, it's just a very little one. And the main thing to note about this design is how the covering of their face looks like an eyeball. It's giving like Sheikah, but like mean. Usually they have like a very billowing cloak and you can't really see what they're wearing underneath it. So for me, being able to see like their fit underneath being like this like very weird jumpsuit with like almost chainmail-like bolero jacket underneath is actually a new thing. I didn't think I caught it in the show. It looks beautiful though. It also looks like he's wearing like a carpet. I think that the fact that we're asking where the brim is kind of the point. Yeah, they're meant to be more ambiguous about it. Like, there is something sinister about the brim caps in the show, but Iguin is not as sinister as the other one that we're gonna see today. I love how dark the color scheme is. I really, really like it. Feels like their cloak is super thick. I like the fur/feathers on the shoulders. I really like the big tassels on the side, and I just really like the hat that covers their face entirely. We have yet to see the face of any brimmed hat witch at all. That's why it's also kind of hard to place them, but I love it. I really like the silhouette. I think it's like just chaotic enough to keep you guessing, but also has a really nice sense of flow to it as well. And I really like the tassel cloth on their hat that's like interrupted by little gold beads, because that gives it a little bit more chaos. Sasaran. I believe Sasaran is a guy. However, you'll very quickly notice that this witch less resembles a person than a fucking Pokemon, because they got rid of their body. They don't have a face. It's like literally an eyeball in a hat. It's super fucking creepy. And they have a more traditional witch hat, the one, you know, with the big brim on their person, as opposed to the other one, which barely had a brim to begin with. Their outfit consists of just a floating cloak with some diamond fastening bits, with some like little silver dangly bits, and a little bit of leather on the top, and just the big eyeball with the hat in him. It's super creepy. I really like that his cloak is also super tattered and torn on the bottom. It gives him a very like shadowy ghost-like silhouette. This one actually feels like bad guy. This one actually has a very threatening demeanor to them. I'm not gonna say more than that other than watch the show. But he showed up and I was like, oh no. But I love the design because it looks menacing. Okay, can we talk about the goat? The brush buddy! The creature! The brush buddy is so fucking cute, and the animators like this thing so much. From the first episode that the brush buddy shows up, if you actually watch some background shots of the show as you're going through the episodes, he's just fucking around in all of them. He's Whittle. This is Coco's pet. It is a noodle with big googly eyes and little baby feet and a really long tail. It's just so cute. Yeah, it's an incredibly expressive character despite not having a mouth and only being a noodle. Would pet it. It's an absolute fucking creature. This creature is more animated than I think most of the show's cast. And it's so cute! And this is like what the website has. There's many more characters in Witch Hat, but like, they are Globshito territory, so they're not all in here. For the most part, though, I think that for the first season, it has a really strong cast. It has a lot of very good, but very simple character designs. They definitely lean more towards fantasy, as opposed to going more towards modernity, which I like. And there's just a very nice aesthetic there that ties back to art, but in really subtle ways. So I highly, highly recommend Witch Hat Atelier to anybody who has not watched it yet. Watch it or read the manga. I would recommend you watch it. The animation work is spectacular. It's chef's kiss. Or watch it for the brush buddy. Watch it for the creature, because that makes it worth it, I think. And I want to know what you guys think if you watched Witch Hat Atelier. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who your favorite character is in the comments. If it's not Brush Buddy, I'm going to be so sad. I will be the saddest bee on the planet, chat. I swear to God. And remember, if you guys want to have the witchiest energy ever, go try out Gamer Subs. Use code GAMEATION for 10% off your entire order.